Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. We're reviewing Love is Blind Season 3, The Reunion. Finally, we made it to the reunion. This is what we've been waiting for. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Before we do, if you haven't already and you've been here before, make sure to hit the subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to help your girl out. You know, I'm trying to grow my channel. If you enjoyed this video at the end and you're new here, don't hesitate to subscribe and check out my other content. Okay, so we start with old boring Brandon and Alexa. Um, he moved in and he said he has like half of one of their closets. So I feel like that's typical with men when they, are sharing a space with a woman, with their wife, they get less closet space, less drawer space. Like that's usually the standard, unless he's some sort of fashionista. Then we get into Poolgate. And Colleen is just looking afraid. She's looking scared and afraid. She's looking scared for her life. I was actually quite concerned because I was wondering, like, why is she looking so nervous? But she apologized to Zay and Matt because she hurt them. She's friends with Zay. Matt's her husband. Then we move on, and Nancy is just putting the full blame for Poolgate on Cole. Yes, Cole was guilty in my opinion, but it's not his full responsibility. He wasn't having a conversation with himself. They both were wrong and they both were guilty. So that's just my opinion on that. They said Cole didn't apologize for weeks. Cole said, he was like, that's crazy. Like, and he said all these things. And Brennan jumping up, like, let's not use crazy. Let's not say this. Let's not say that. Sit back. Like, nobody's even talking to you. And here go the ladies. Yes, Brennan, exactly. No, like, come on, let him explain himself. Cole says she's lying. Brennan said he's just furious because Cole was just disrespectful to Zay throughout the entire process. Now I was not a fan of Cole at all. But I mean, we just jumping on Cole like Colleen was inappropriate as well. She could have hit him with a raven and been like, I'm not interested, but she did not. Nick asked Brennan if he blames Colleen for any of this at all. And he was like, I mean, yes. Like, you hesitating, yes. Because now you sounding crazy because, yeah, she played a part. Matt said Colleen told him everything, and so he wasn't caught off guard at all. He overreacted. Now, at first I was with him, but then as the season went on, I'm like, you overreact about everything. Cole took full accountability and basically protected Colleen in that moment. So then we see SK with him saying no at the altar. We're getting into him and Raven's package. And Raven says she just wasn't prepared for him to say no. Like, she just didn't even think of no being a possibility, basically. SK said he didn't know what he was going to say until the moment happened. Like, he just was unsure of what he was going to do. They all say they don't know what they were going to say. That may be true for him, but I don't think that was true for everybody. So he said her not wanting to move and him going to school, it helped his decision. I still think, what was he even doing on there knowing he was about to move anyway? But I digress. Raven confirmed that they are dating now, despite being in a long distance relationship with a time difference, I'm sure, because they in Dallas, she's in Dallas, he's in Cali, so there's like a 2-hour time difference. So that long distance relationships are not easy and they are not for the weak. But they're happy. They look like they're in love or on the way to being in love. We discuss Nancy and Raven being shady to each other, like making little snide remarks about each other. We saw Nancy doing that with Bartice, like when he was ranting to Raven about her being a smoke show, and she was just like, I can't even believe she's so negative. So we're already familiar with that. But they got to know each other. Now they're friends. Yeah, y'all should have got to know each other the whole time. Like, Raven never even wanted Bartice anyway, so what was the beef? Raven, I want to know more of what's going on. Like, they show the pods, and yeah, we need to see the pods, but I want to know more what was going on in, like, the women's section and the women's quarters where they were saying, and the men's, like, how the tension was between them because they're all dating each other. But Raven was shocked that Bartiz was telling Nancy that how attracted he was to her because she was like, look, after we got out the pool, I wasn't even thinking about him. He didn't even cross my mind. He wasn't even on my radar. I didn't think twice. Was not interested. She was worried about her man. My man, my man, my man. So, and she just thought it was really inappropriate, and she felt it was disrespectful to SK because, they're supposed to be cool. You smiling in his face, but behind his back, you up here telling Nancy something else. Nancy tells Bartiz he needs to find a better way to be honest. Like, brutally honest ain't it. Like, that's just not how you deliver messages. I mean, I think we were just past brutally honest. He was just flat out rude and nasty with it. Bartiz said that, it was hard to watch. Was it? But he can't deny his feelings. Like, he had feelings for Raven in the pods. Did you? She didn't have feelings for you? Of course she didn't think twice about you. She was doing jumping jacks while you were pouring your heart out about your life story. But he said he had feelings for her in the pods. So obviously it's just not going to go away. Like, just because he saw her and he picked Nancy, like, it doesn't mean the feelings are gone. Okay, yeah, but he said he should have handled it better. Yeah. Once you made your choice with Nancy, you should have stood on it. And he was fine with Nancy until he saw Raven. So it just basically, love is not blind. Just say that. So SK felt like it wasn't brutally honest. It was inappropriate. And I agree. We touched on Colleen and Matt, and they said they're still working on communication. They're still married. We know communication was one of their major issues, more so on his side, because he just didn't want to hear what she even had to say. But they don't live together yet. They didn't want to break their leases. Like, they were like, Colleen said financially it didn't make sense to break the lease. And Vanessa's like, well, hold on. Like, wouldn't it be cheaper if y'all were just under one roof paying one rent? But she's like, he would have to pay to get out of his lease. Like, even if you broke the lease, in the long run, you save the money. But whatever. She said she has roommates. She didn't want to leave them high and dry. So they're going to try to do it in a couple months. She don't want to move in with that man because she's scared of him. Look at her. Go back. If you ain't watch it, when you watch it, you want to see. Look in her eyes. I'm just saying. That's how it look, allegedly. So they plan to move in together. Nick jokes about, Nick was like, marriage is better the second time around, right? He's joking with Matt. So, I mean, marriage may be better for Nick the second time around, but for us, it was better when he was with Jessica Simpson. I ain't gonna lie to you. These two hosting, imagine if it was Nick and Jessica hosting. It would have been 10 times more interesting, in my opinion. But you know what? I'm thinking, this does show that there's always a second chance and another opportunity at love. And I already told y'all in previous reviews, I was married a long time ago. So I'm hoping the next time I do it, the second time will be the charm. Okay. So Nick asked the other married couple, Alexa and Brennan, their thoughts. Alexa was like, we didn't have no issues until we moved in together. Yeah. I will never marry somebody without living with them first. You do not know a person until you live with them. And I know biblically and religiously and morally or whatever, that may not be right. But that's just, listen, I'm not doing it. I need to know what I'm getting into before I get into it. And really, I feel like they didn't have no issues beforehand because Brennan is just a flat out yes man. I mean, I'm glad he's a gentleman and all that, but no matter what she said, yep, okay, I'll do it. Yep. I'll change my religion. I'll change everything about me for you, girl. So she's the alpha woman in the marriage. Nick and Vanessa said they invited Andrew, but he declined, as he should, because why would he be there? Like, we've never had somebody who wasn't matched with anyone on the show. Like he would have had a very small segment. I mean, the only reason why I would want him there is because Nancy made a bad decision not picking him. I mean, he wasn't great either, but out of the two. Raven said she and SK didn't do the grown up until after the wedding. Is it just me? I don't believe her. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't think so. I think they did do it when they moved into the shared apartment because, like, SK had hinted to it. And when she was saying this, he was looking like, what? But he like, okay, I'm going to let her have it. Because that's when she really started to catch feelings for him. Like, she was really starting to fall for him. But okay, girl, whatever you want to say. I mean, we grown. You don't got to, like, it doesn't matter. So Bartiz said that he was like rooting for he and Nancy. Like when he was watching it, like he was still saying like say yes, and all this silly stuff. Like what? Even though he already knew what he said, he's like as crazy as it may sound. Yeah, it sound crazy. You should have rehearsed saying that nonsense with one of your friends or something before you got up on this stage and said it, because it sound crazy as hell. But Vanessa asked Nancy like how she felt watching it. And Nancy, after she watched it back, she begins to cry. Like, she just starts breaking down. It was sad to watch. But she said she felt blindsided by him. Like, he wasn't supposed to blindside her, and he did. So, that was real raw emotion right there. He blindsided her family, too. They wasn't having it. So, the ladies outed that Bartiz, the very next day after he said, I don't, was out with a tall blonde. And I said, oh my gosh. Really? That's your type, tall blonde? Like, so, I mean, you should have just, like, why are you even on it? I mean, we know you're on the show to be, because you want to be on a TV show, but if your type is tall blonde, then your type is just tall blonde. Stick with tall blondes. Bartiz said his sex life is no one's business. Nancy said nobody mentioned your sex life. We just said you was out with somebody. We didn't say anything about sex. Guilty conscience. He snitched on himself. Because he was like, we ain't do it the next day. We did it the day after on the 4th of July. Like, shut up. Ooh, I don't know what I know she didn't see him, but I don't know what kind of game he was spitting to her in them pods. Because, baby, I don't see it for him. She just like, that's just, you being 25. No, just you just being like, even at 25, like, come on now. Do better. Yeah, he didn't owe her anything because he said no, and then you like, oh, we ain't do it that day. It was the following day. Like, Bartiz, be quiet. So we see a montage of Zay nagging Cole, and I felt like I was being nagged by my mama. Goodness gracious. Don't cook it like that. Don't put your sock there. Like, don't take the trash out like that. Like, ooh, that's what people do when they already married, honey. Wait till you get down the aisle first. So Cole said his power, like they were asking about why his toilet had flies in it. Why? I don't even want to rehash it, but he said his power went out the night before, and then he had to get on a flight, like, for something with the show, so he ain't had time to clean it before his trip. So basically, he didn't flush the toilet, and that's why flies were in there, because, he was gone for a little bit. But I'm like, were you gone for months? Like, oh, goodness. Yeah. So, but Zay was just like, it was fine. She didn't have a problem with it. She expected it. Like, what kind of men you been dealing with, girl? And what about the rest of the apartment? Why did the rest of the apartment look that way? Zay, especially, they're going to come there with cameras. Like, if you want to be nasty the rest of the time, behind closed doors, fine. But now that the door is wide open, like, hire somebody or something. Zay said she overreacted, like, when he had a sock hanging out the suitcase and all that, but she had to adjust to sharing space. You're going to have to adjust to sharing space. That's part of the game. Like, that's the name of the game. Give him a chance at least. And then the way she did it, like her delivery was always passive aggressive. So the ladies accused Cole of attempting to kiss a girl at the bachelor party. And Cole was like, now hold on. Now wait a minute now. That's a lie. It wasn't even no girls at the party. From what I watched, I didn't see no women. I didn't hear no women. I didn't hear no music. I didn't see no fun. I didn't see anything. They literally, like, it was like they were, I don't know. I mean, the night was so quiet. I thought they were, like, doing some kind of, like, reading group or some study group or Bible study or something. So, he was like, look, y'all had eggplants all in y'all face at the bachelorette party, but then you talking about it was no girls there. Touche. So the ladies accused the guys of going out afterwards off camera. But the guys stick together. All of them was like, look, I was drunk. We got an Uber home. We ain't do nothing else. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, I don't know nothing about it. Right. Even Brennan, like, was on code. And truthfully, I just think I just don't believe it. Like, the story just sounds fishy to me. Like, it just didn't make no sense. Why would he tell you that? Like, I don't know. That was just silly. So Vanessa asked if he doesn't remember or did it not happen. Cole was like, it's nothing to remember. Like, it just didn't happen. I feel like there's enough negativity around Cole. There's plenty of things that he actually did do, especially on camera. The pool gate and then what happened afterwards was enough. Like, you don't have to like throw in this story that don't even make sense. Like, you could have just went off of what he did. That's black and white, can't deny, is on camera, and that would have been sufficient. All this other stuff to like help your case lets me know, like, okay, you need to just admit you are part of the problem. So Nancy's defending her friend automatically, like not even thinking that maybe she's wrong or she heard it wrong or the story may be off or whatever. Like, she don't know if this is true or not. She just automatically like on the side of her friend. I'm going to always be on the side of right. And if you're unsure, just sit it out. Sit this one out. Don't say anything. This don't got nothing to do with you anyway, Nancy. So Zay said he got a really good edit. I mean, why would he get a good edit? And she was like, look, he spoke negatively about her body. Cole asks, why did she stay? Like, if I'm so terrible, if I'm so awful, why are you here? Like, why are you still here? I mean, I felt like he was asking that on the show because he felt like she didn't like him. And so did I. She was like, look, she wanted things to work out. Two things can be true at the same time. She could have really wanted things to work out, but knew that he just wasn't her person and vice versa. So it's like, yeah, I really wanted to try, but like we just don't fit. We're trying to force it to fit. So, I mean, I get that. But, this is not the first time. No, this is the first time they're seeing each other. They haven't seen each other since she made her speech. And Cole said he hasn't reached out. So then Raven like, oh, that's not his. That's him not taking accountability. Then the ladies proceed to blame him for not reaching out. Are y'all? What's wrong with y'all? Like, are you for real? She said I don't, and she just didn't say I don't like everybody else and just left it. Oh no, she had a pre-written, rehearsed, memorized speech as to why she don't. Why would he turn around and then reach out to her and say what? I've heard him apologize already about the pool gate situation. So at this, and they're calling her a 9 but calling Colleen a 10. Yeah, I didn't like it. It was wrong. He shouldn't have did it. But at the end of the day, like, you want him to grovel? Like, what do you want? She already said no. So the relationship is over. So there's nothing else to talk about. So Cole said he thought she got caught up with the filming and the cameras, and he just assumed she would reach out because he's the one that said I don't. Now he's playing victim though, because now he giving these crocodile tears and all this stuff. And I'm like, both of y'all, like, we need to hold both of their feet to the fire. And I'm just like, why y'all ladies didn't have this energy for Bartise? Like, y'all let Bartise slip and slide right through that thing. He literally went out with another woman the next day. Like, y'all Bartise, they were neck and neck for a good period of time. But then Bartise started stepping it up a couple notches. Like, he was worse. Like, Bartise was worse in my opinion. Like, every chance he got, he just was telling her. Like, it was just like, Cole was just like, well, you're not my normal type, but I'm so attracted to you. Bartise was just acting like Nancy was flat out UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. But I don't know. Bartise and Cole should have equally gotten that energy, if nothing else, not just flat out Cole. Bartise wondered why, she got a thunderous applause basically after she gave her speech and as she was leaving the altar. Bartise sit this one out though, because like, you said no too, so she can't control that everybody want to give her a round of applause and a hand clap. And I'm just like, look, since we bringing it up and we hear, I do not like the fact that she was hinting, implying or accent or whatever that growly applause was ghetto. Like, I just did not like that she mentioned them cheering her on being ghetto. Like, girl, like, the more it's like I want to be on her side, the worse she just makes it. Zay is accusing him of body shaming her and food shaming her again. Like, she's standing by it. She said what she said and she's not changing that. Shout out to Misha. So Cole asks if they have footage, please show the footage. Now, this was the producers over there at Love and Marriage Huntsville or like Real Housewives of Atlanta. They would have had the footage already ready to play at the reunion so everybody can look at it at the time. But they showed us they had to dig and try to search and find, and they gave it to us later on. We're going to get to it. So we move on to Brenna and Alexa. The corny but the cute. Like, I like them. Do I think they'll last forever? If they got divorced, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I wouldn't feel no kind of way. Like, I don't know. We'll never have another Lauren and Cameron. So Alexa didn't expect to fall in love. She just wanted to be on TV right quick. She wanted to be seen in the pods and she wanted to go home. Vanessa said, when you find your person, you just know. You just know. I felt that. So Cole apologizes to everyone as they're like getting to the end, and he says he has regrets for ruining Zay's self-esteem. Baby, let me say this. Zay's self-esteem was ruined before she even put the application in for the show. Like, Zay's self-esteem was non-existent. That is why she was easily affected. Because first of all, yeah, that can tear you down. But I felt like she was already insecure anyway. And that just was the cherry on the top. The straw that broke the camel's back. So Zay said she has no resentment towards Cole. Like, she's moved on. I'm wondering, like, because they filmed this over a year ago. So I'm like, when did they do the reunion? I'm wondering, like, how much time was in between that and the reunion. Cole cried some more, and he just letting the crocodile tears flow forcefully. And then Zay was like, look, if I could do it all over again, I would do it with you. I wouldn't do it with anybody else. I would have did the exact same thing, the exact same way with you and you alone. Girl, what? She said it was Zay or bust. Girl, it made me think about Barnett. But I'm like, okay, you saying all this, but he was so awful, and you would put yourself through this again? Okay. Colleen says she's more than a ballerina. Well, girl, that's all you talked about was how flexible you are and that you're a ballerina. You should have mentioned everything else. Now, I mean, honey, the season's over. We don't care. But good for you. Vanessa said there has yet to be a Love is Blind baby. They waiting on it. Like, looking at Alexa and Brennan. No, honey, no. We want it with Lauren and Cameron. Okay? That would be a beautiful baby. So then we see the Zay and Cole cutie story. And the cuties are those really teeny oranges. Cole is saying that, as they're talking and they're showing the scene, he was telling her, like, we need to go to England and meet your family. I want to, meet them. We can try to have a wedding there since we're having something small and intimate. Everybody can't come. Like, let's do it again. Or just throwing out ideas because he wants to be around her family because he's trying to show her that he cares about her. She's giving a little pushback, but she like, you'll meet him. So I'm like, I feel like she already knew what she was going to do. Honestly, looking at this. So Cole, they were snacking on something as they were talking about the whole England thing. So they were already snacking. She said something about like only eating a banana. And he was like, well, like, why are you eating that orange? And that's why she said she only ate a banana earlier. And he was like, okay, we about to have like a big old dinner. Don't ruin it. Basically he's implying like, you don't want to ruin your appetite with all this snacking because we about to go eat. That is a normal, like, that is such a normal conversation. Like, where's the body shaming? I'm waiting to hear it. I say this stuff to my 10-year-old. So then he was like, oh, like, okay, you only ate a banana. Like, oh, we must be getting wedding dress ready. Like, okay. Oh, like, he's like, why are you only eating a banana? And he was like, oh, you're trying to get your wedding buy ready. Like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, again, even if that wasn't the case, it makes sense because y'all are preparing for a wedding in a short period of time. So it's not like it's out of reach or it's just like, why are you saying that? Like, yeah, it's about perception. She could have took it that way, but come on. Because now she's just nitpicking, just trying to find something to be upset about. Like, some people just like to be upset. So, basically, the scene was uneventful, but in my opinion, he did not body shame her. Girl, you got me just really defending Cole. Listen, I'm going to be on the side, anybody can get it. I'm going to be on the side of what I feel is right. Cole started off wrong, but they surely helped to make the situation worse. She was naggy from start to finish. She needs to self-heal and self-reflect. He needs to mature. Neither one of them are ready to be married, or at least they weren't at that time. So that's the end of the season. But today, I noticed as they had turned all her comments off because, honey, they was giving it to her in them comment sections. Now, her friends on the show might have been ready to jump all over cold water, but the people, the watchers, the viewers, they were not on her side. So I don't blame her for turning them comments off because I wouldn't want to see it either. It's a lot. Like, y'all got to remember, she still is a human at the end of the day with feelings and emotions. Like, if you just don't agree, just keep scrolling. But that's neither here nor there. She made a post and she was saying, like, I'm sorry I'm not this, and Cole, I'm sorry not that. And then she mentioned that she was sorry Deepti's wedding was a week before hers. What Deepti got to do with this? What Deepti got to do with this? Her season came and went. Now she probably know how I get in this. What? What I got to do with y'all? I'm trying to correlate the two, and it's not, the math is not mathing. It ain't making no sense. Somebody drop down in the comments and let me know why Deepti was mentioned. Anywho, that's the end of the season. Let me know what y'all are thinking in the comments. Check out my other content. They already done filmed the next season from what I heard. At least the streets was talking, and that's what they saying. So we going to be back again to check out the new season. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.